The Star Cannon is one of the most iconic weapons in Terraria, making its debut in desktop release. This weapon used to be one of the best options for defeating the Wall of Flesh. The question is, with many new additions since its glory days, does it still pack a punch in Terraria 1.4? And more importantly, is it worth the expense? Today, we're going to be exploring the suitability of the Star Cannon and see if it's still a viable weapon to grind for. As many of you know, the Star Cannon is a pre-armored ranged weapon that fires stars in a straight line that infinitely pierce enemies. Its crafting recipe is relatively simple, firstly requiring 20 meteorite bars. Meteorites have a 50% chance of landing in your world after defeating the Eater of Worlds or the Brain of Cthulhu for the first time. You'll only need about 60 meteorite to craft enough bars for the Star Cannon. You'll also need to purchase a mini shark from the arms dealer for a hefty 35 gold. Hopefully at this point in the game, this won't be too much of a damaging transaction. Finally, all is left to gather is 5 fallen stars. With this, you should be now able to craft the almighty Star Cannon. But that is only half of the battle. The true expense comes with its ammunition. Every shot is going to cost you 1 fallen star unless you're running any ammo reservation effects. To make collecting a large number of stars easy, I would highly recommend creating a platform in space that spans the length of the world like this. This will yield you about 30 to 40 stars per night on a large world. Unfortunately, it seems that the Hoik method does not work in the newest version of the game, meaning manual collection is your best bet. Okay then, it's about time we did some damage testing. The Star Cannon's weakest scenario is definitely on single targets, as it deals no knockback. This also doesn't utilise its piercing ability one bit. As the Star Cannon can pierce an infinite number of enemies, this is where the weapon really excels. We can take this to the next level with over 40 target them in a line. Although this scenario would never exist in practice, it's cool to see it dealing over 10,000 damage per second in pre-hard mode. This ability of the Star Cannon is definitely what makes it so special. Just look at how it rips through 50 slimes. This same effect is what makes it such a good weapon against the Wall of Flesh, as it can cut right through the hungry, dealing damage to the boss itself straight away. Speaking of bosses, we all know how it can cake the Wall of Flesh, but how can it do against something out of its comfort zone? I chose the Destroyer as it will give the weapon its best shot due to being able to pierce an infinite number of sections of the hitbox. As you can see, this strategy is working brilliantly, however its base damage is making it suffer a bit. Something like the Daedalus Stormbow would be far more ideal and a lot less expensive to fire. And then of course there's always the upgrade to the Star Cannon, the Superstar Shooter, which can be crafted straight after defeating a mechanical boss anywhere. The question you need to ask yourself at this point is, although it's dealing mediocre damage in hard mode, which is impressive for a pre-hard mode weapon, would you still be better off switching out for something like the Uzi or the Mega Shark after hitting hard mode? And this is where the Star Cannon's biggest issue arises. It's obtained very late in pre-hard mode progression and takes a lot of time to grind for enough stars to take out the Wall of Flesh. As soon as this is done, in my mind, the weapon is redundant. Unless you love the Superstar Shooter, this is nothing but a gun that deals less single target DPS than the Uzi, but costs you much more valuable ammunition. I still think that the Star Cannon is a fantastic weapon, but specialises in one use only, and that's giving yourself the very best chance of killing the Wall of Flesh, almost like a failsafe. You know it's going to be a pain to grind for, but it'll get the job done. Let me know what you think. Do you still craft the Star Cannon in your playthroughs? Thanks for watching. For more Terraria content like this, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.